If today feels exactly like yesterday, the simulation is already winning. He wakes up, and the world feels wrong. Not dramatically, not violently, just subtly misaligned, like a painting hung half an inch too low. Something in the air whispers, "You weren't meant to live like this." The alarm rings 1 second too long. The shadows bend slightly in the wrong direction. The room flickers, just once, but enough to make his heart thunder. He steps out of bed. The floor feels colder than usual, and the silence heavier, as if the world is waiting for him to notice something he's ignored his entire life. He moves through his morning routine, and suddenly realizes he isn't making any choices. Everything is autopilot. Everything is scripted. Everything is recycled. He brushes his teeth. He ties his shoes. He walks the same path to work. But today, he finally notices the glitch in the code. Outside, the world behaves too perfectly. People walking in the same rhythm. Cars timing themselves with mechanical precision. Zero variation, zero chaos, zero humanity. He freezes, not because he's scared, but because he's waking up for the first time in his life. Am I living someone else's script? The question hits him like lightning. A man drops his coffee, but the splash pattern repeats exactly like yesterday. A child trips, but the stumble is identical. A dog barks with machine-like timing. No spontaneity, no originality, no soul. It's like living inside a looping GIF, and he's the only one who can see the seams. This isn't life, it's maintenance. His breathing quickens, not in fear, but in awakening. Then, it happens. The sky glitches. Just one jagged tear across the clouds, like someone dragging a cursor across a digital canvas. 1 second, then gone. But enough to shatter everything he thought was real. He whispers, "If this is a game, why am I playing it like an NPC?" And with that question, the loop begins to fracture. If everyone around you moves the same, you're not in a city, you're in a program. He steps into the street, and immediately he feels it. The repetition, the patterns, the eerie sameness woven into every corner of the urban maze. The world isn't alive, it's preloaded. People walk the exact same pace, with the exact same expression, breathing in the exact same rhythm, as if someone copied one model and pasted it across the entire map. He watches a businessman drop a pen, a woman adjust her bag strap, a cyclist skid slightly on a turn. All identical to yesterday, down to the exact second. His pulse spikes, not because he's scared, but because he knows what this means. He's no longer one of them. He steps aside to observe more closely, and suddenly the entire world sharpens. Colors brighten, movements slow. Patterns reveal themselves like puzzle pieces falling into place. He whispers, "These people aren't living. They're executing code." A child laughs, the same cadence and pitch he heard last week. A street vendor yells, line for line, the exact same words. The city becomes terrifying, not because of danger, but because of predictability. Predictability is the death of possibility. Then a deeper realization strikes him. If everything is scripted, then someone or something is writing the scripts, and he refuses to be written. He looks around at the NPC faces and thinks they trade freedom for familiarity. They trade dreams for routines. They trade life for loops. But he won't. Not anymore. He steps forward, intentionally, breaking the synchronized flow of the crowd. And for the first time, the world reacts. A faint ripple of distortion warps the sidewalk beneath him, like reality struggling to render an outcome it never planned for. He smirks. The system can't handle someone who chooses. He is no longer part of the script. He is the glitch, the anomaly, the awakening, the main character. Awareness doesn't feel like waking up. It feels like breaking out.
The moment he questions the system, everything stops. Literally, the wind pauses mid-gust, a leaf freezes mid-fall, a car halts mid-turn. The entire world becomes a paused video frame. When your mind evolves, your reality struggles to keep up. A holographic interface explodes into existence around him, a glowing network of skill trees, progress paths, and destiny nodes. It feels ancient, yet futuristic, coded, yet divine. The categories hover before him: mindset, wealth, influence, skill, discipline, identity, each pulsing with potential. He touches one, and the world reacts. Reality flickers. Energy surges. His memories replay like fast-forwarded scenes. Every failure, every excuse, every time he lived small to stay comfortable. But instead of breaking him, the shame transforms into fuel. Awareness is painful only to the version of you that refuses to grow. The skill tree expands, branches glowing gold, pointing toward futures he never believed he could access. He whispers, "This is the real game." A voice echoes through the paused world. NPCs obey. Players build. Creators ascend. He chooses. The world reactivates. Sound rushes back. Time resumes. But he is changed, upgraded, awakened, unlocked.
He walks through the city with a new kind of vision, not the kind that merely sees, but the kind that recognizes. The interface from earlier still lingers faintly around him, ghost-like, flickering in and out as if syncing with his mind. And then, without warning, one window expands, enlarging until it dominates his entire perception. Wealth, the real game. He stops. A golden sphere of light forms in front of him like an awakening sun, swirling with diagrams, equations, and glowing pathways branching like neural networks. This isn't money. It's something far deeper, something ancient. A voice whispers, not external, but internal, like the echo of a forgotten truth. NPCs chase money. Main characters build leverage. The truth hits him like a shockwave. All around him, he suddenly sees the world through a new lens. People sprinting toward paychecks instead of purpose. Entire buildings filled with humans trading time instead of skills. Screens feeding citizens endless distractions to keep them looping. He sees it, and it hurts, because he realizes he almost lived an entire life inside that trap. A new holographic layer unfolds. Leverage attributes, skill, network, assets, creativity, discipline, reputation. All glowing, all interconnected, all pulsing as if alive. He touches skill, and a projection bursts outward, showing him futures he could build if he just committed. Systems, products, businesses, creators, builders, innovators. He touches network and sees the faces of mentors, allies, future partners, people he hasn't met yet but will once he becomes the type of person they're drawn to. He touches assets, and the city skyline transforms into glowing models of investments, digital ventures, intellectual property, building blocks of true freedom. And then the golden sphere compresses and fires a single earth-shattering sentence into his mind. Wealth is not earned. Wealth is constructed. His breath catches. The city pulses. The ground vibrates. Another message appears. When you stop trading hours, you start writing destiny. He feels like he's ascending, like all the limits he once believed were just illusions placed on him by a world designed to keep him docile. The more he understands wealth, the more reality bends to his perception. He whispers, "So this is the real game." And the sphere answers with a burst of golden light enveloping him. Build leverage, forge skills, create value, command freedom. When the light dissolves, he's standing in the same street, but he's no longer the same person. Not even close. He's become someone capable of building worlds.
Night falls, and the world grows quiet. Too quiet. A faint chill creeps along his spine as he senses something shifting, something watching. The air thickens like the atmosphere before a storm. And then, from the edge of an alleyway, a figure emerges. At first, it looks like a silhouette. Then it steps into the moonlight, and he loses his breath. It's him. The old him. The one built from fear, excuses, procrastination, self-doubt. Eyes heavy with exhaustion. Posture slumped from years of comfort. A ghost made of all the lives he never lived. The shadow speaks in a voice cracked with complacency. Come back to your loops. It's easier. Every word slithers like poison. Every sentence drips with familiarity. The protagonist feels his chest tighten. Of all enemies, this is the strongest, because this one knows every weakness he's ever had. The shadow continues. You don't need to grow. You don't need to try. Stay where it's safe. Stay where it's predictable. But in that moment, a realization hits him. Comfort isn't safety. Comfort is a cage. He steps forward, and the air around him ignites with the energy of every lesson he's learned. Golden sparks float off him like embers rising from a legendary forge. The wealth interface flares to life behind him, forming wings of data and destiny. He says, voice steady, "You are the version of me that chooses fear." The shadow recoils. I choose growth. The world trembles as light and darkness collide. The shadow self transforms into a monstrous version, a towering entity wearing chains made of habits, addictions, and past failures. It charges. He stands firm. In an explosive moment, he unleashes the fire within him. Not magic, not fantasy, but conviction. The raw power of someone who refuses to live on default settings. The chains shatter, the monster dissolves, and what remains is a faint whisper carried by the wind. Then become the man I couldn't. He breathes heavily, victorious but humbled, because he understands now. The biggest enemy is always the older version of yourself, and the strongest battles are fought in silence against the habits no one else can see. He doesn't walk away from the confrontation. He ascends from it. The night sky softens, and the first hints of dawn begin to paint the world in muted blues. The aftermath of the confrontation still lingers, dust floating through the air, the ground cracked with energy. But he stands tall, breathing steadily, feeling lighter than he ever has. The world feels unlocked, like a map fully revealed after defeating a major boss. As he walks toward the rising sun, the city transforms around him. Glitches fade. The dull colors brighten. The NPC faces gain faint hints of individuality, as if his awakening is ripple affecting into the environment. He feels it deep in his bones. He has broken free. Not from the world, but from the version of himself that kept him small. A final interface appears before him, brilliant and blinding. Main character mode activated. His heart surges. Golden circuitry-like patterns spread through the air like celestial constellations. The ground beneath him cracks with radiant light as energy rises through his body. He hears the voice one last time. If life is a game,
You now play to build, not survive. He steps forward, and a shockwave bursts outward. Not destructive, but creative. Flowers bloom along sidewalks. Neon signs brighten. The sky clears to a crystalline blue. The world is no longer a cage. It's a canvas. He imagines his future, a future built by his own hands. Mastery of skills that turn him unstoppable, a network of allies and mentors, systems generating wealth without stealing time, a life with freedom as its foundation, a legacy built from relentless growth. Every vision feels achievable because he no longer watches his life from the sidelines. He authors it. He pauses at the top of a hill overlooking the entire city. Wind rushes past him, lifting his hair like a hero in the final frame of an anime season. He whispers the line that seals everything he has become. I refuse to live on default settings. The world glows. The music rises. The screen fades to white. A new chapter begins.